Alright, thank you guys for tuning in today. We're going to be building bag C, the front gearbox of my ET48 2.0 electric truggy. Alright, let's dig right in. Take our bearings here. Small bearing on this side. Large bearing in the back. Like so. Snaps right in. Really nice fit. Alright, we're going to take our gear here, and that's going to go like so. Our next piece is this, and if we look close, this little tiny washer here goes on the back side of that. Don't want to leave that out. From here, we'll get this guy put in, and we'll be using Loctite for that. As you guys probably already know, any metal to metal, use some blue Loctite with. And I like to get a little bit on both. You be pretty liberal with it because you really don't want this backing out during the race. And if you guys can see, try to go ahead and get that flat lined up with that hole. I'll get that tightened down. And I'm going to snug it pretty good. You don't want to strip it by no means, but like I said, you don't want that backing out during a race. With this being the front gearbox, you'll lose front steering if that comes loose. Alright, we're going to move on to step 2. If you guys remember, put an F on my front differential so I know that it goes in the front. And I'd pay close attention to the manual, because you definitely want to put this the way the instruction manual shows. If you can, it will run, you probably can assemble it this way, but that's wrong. You'll have one diff wanting to spin front ways and one diff wanting to spin back ways when the motor applies power to the drive shafts. So definitely get this right. We want to put a little bit of grease in this ring gear. We'll take that out to do that. Now, we can talk about shimming. Your kit comes with 2 shims. You can see them here. I want to put it together without the shims and see how it feels and sounds. Basically, the idea behind it is you want to put it closest you want to shim this direction, put the shims on this side, which will get that ring gear closer to this gear, is the idea behind it. A lot of these Tekno kits, the plastics are really good. You probably don't even need it. Those shims are really, really thin. You know, maybe as the plastic wears, if you take it off and on a lot or disassemble it a lot, you might need shims then, but I'm being pretty liberal with the grease here. You may not need this much, but it's not going to hurt anything if you got too much. They give you plenty in the kit. Tekno does a really good job of giving you what you need. Like I said, I know this is probably way too much, but that's okay. I'll take care of those gears. Alright. Like I said, look at the instruction manual. It goes this way. I'm going to set it down in there. And I don't feel if I'm wiggling this differential this way, there is no play whatsoever. I really don't think that I'm going to use the shims. So we're just going to continue without those. If you put this in here and you can kind of feel a little slop right to left or up and down, I guess looking at it y'all's way, put the shims on this side to shim that ring gear closer to this gear down here. Alright, let's put the back end on it. It goes like so. So when you turn this, see it's moving your diff there. And once again, no play. Alright. Calls for the TKR1525 screws. Coming over here to my instruction manual. It's the screws right here. I have those laid out already. Alright, here we go. Oh, let's go. This is a bigger one. Finish this off by hand so I don't strip it. Right there. Put another one on this side. Feels pretty good. Still checking this. No play whatsoever. I don't think any shims are going to be required. Alright, we got that assembled. We'll set this aside. We'll pick up our shock tower here. If you notice, the front is different from the back. So we'll go ahead and build it the way the instructions say here. So it's showing these like this, and these are going right in here. Kind of fits down in that notch. And it's going to use the TKR1529, which is the longest Allen head screws that came in this kit, or this bag right here. Seems a little excessive, but we'll go ahead and put those in. Alright. Now it looks like we're putting our shock bolts that hold the shocks on in. Looks like the big end here is going on the inside, and it's going through that second hole. If you guys can see that, and this just gets a screw put on the back. We can tighten these up later. Go ahead. Get this bag. That's going to go right there. Pops right in. And we're going to take our smallest screws here. And these are really tiny. So we're not going to use the power tool on those. Probably just going to tighten these up by hand. And you know what? I may put a little grease along the edge of this to keep dirt from getting in there. Maybe just a little bit. Get dirt in that little gear there. Give a little line of grease. Give it a little extra protection. Instructions do not say to do this, but it won't hurt a thing. That'll keep some dirt from getting up in there. Alright. Like I said, I would not recommend using a power tool on these little tiny guys. They'll probably screw in by hand. Yeah. And this is not even a little long screwdriver or anything. I'm just using the bit. I would make sure it's flush, because this is going to be sitting down on your chassis. Feels good. One more turn, maybe. All right, now we're ready to assemble this to our shock tower here. Looks like it's going to go like so. Take our 4 remaining screws here, 4 remaining bolts. Should have one go there, 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 and there. Alright. Screwing this shock tower into the bulkhead. Just snugging those up by hand. Don't want to strip anything. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these up. Just find something to hold this right there. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's good and tight. Good and tight. Alright, thank you guys for tuning in. This was bag C of my ET48 2.0 electric truggy. We'll see you in the next episode.